to another episode of Threes and TDs. Today we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on in the NBA playoffs. The games tonight just ended. The Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Clippers just got done. That game was ridiculous. There was really good shot making in that game. So if you are somebody that is looking and is ready for good shot making, that's going to be your game. Denver, down the stretch of that game, it was really, really interesting because they were making good shots, but Nikola Jokic just kept missing free throws. I know it's really hard to say something about somebody that probably had the best offensive season in the history of the league. But yeah, it was just really, really interesting because he had one or two plays and free throws, and he was really frustrated with himself. I think he expected better. And the problem with Nikola is that he's so good that when he has an off game like this, and it wasn't even an off game, he had a triple-double, but the standard is so high with him that when he has a game like that, it's like, oh, is Nikola okay? Is everything going to be all right? That was a really, really good game in terms of shot making and playmaking. The other game that happened tonight was the Knicks and the Pistons, and that was also really, really good. I think both of these games, more than any NBA playoff series, is going to go to 7 games. I think the Pistons and the Knicks are going to go to 7 games, and I think the Nuggets and the Clippers are going to go to 7 games. I think Denver and the Clippers are way more talented than New York and Detroit, but because they're playing each other, it kind of offsets. But I really do think that both of these series are going to go to 7 games. The Knicks-Pistons series, in a way, kind of remind me of an old school battle, like an 80s, 90s, early 2000s playoff series, because they're really, really physical. So once again, New York may not have... I looked up a stat, and their record against the top, I think 5 or 6 teams, they won maybe once. So they didn't win a lot of games. They play defense. They're really physical, and it's really hard to play in New York. If you're an opposing team that goes to New York, it's really, really hard to win because of that crowd and defensively. They just play really, really good, sound basketball. The other series that I wanted to touch on was the first game of the Lakers-Wolves game. And I kind of talked about this. One of the things that's going to happen in the Lakers-Wolves series is that Minnesota is not going to go off for what felt like 4,000 three-pointers. Like, Naz Reid is not going to hit as many three-pointers as he hit every series. That's a good thing because it was just really, really hard for the Lakers to get anything going offensively. But the Wolves aren't going to hit the amount of threes they did. Now, JJ Redick today in his press conference, he did say that when he went and looked back at the tape, they didn't do the things that got them to where they're at today. There was miscommunications. He used the word not being organized. So I'm confident that the Lakers are going to be able to withstand some of the things that the Timberwolves did against them. I do think that LA was not prepared for Minnesota's length defensively. So their perimeter players, if you go back and look at that game, they were coming up on LeBron, on Luka, on everybody. And I don't think LA was prepared for that. Austin Reaves, who I have been on the record as saying he's probably the best third option offensively in the league, and he looked like he was a JV player, like a JV team player playing up against varsity players in like a high school match. So he is going to have to find something offensively against some of these wings, against McDaniels, against Naz Reid, because if he scores less than 10 points every series, that's not going to bode well. I thought Rui actually played well. Rui has become automatic from that corner 3 spot. So I thought actually Rui had a decent game, but I do think that they're going to have to match up better with Minnesota defensively. The last game that I'll mention is the Grizzlies Thunder series, where the Thunder just absolutely went off on them. I thought we all know that if you look at any NBA analyst, they were all saying that the Thunder were going to win by a lot. But I think they needed this to essentially say, we're not messing around at these playoffs. Even though we were the best point differential team in the league, we're going to show everybody why we're the best team in the league. I heard Zach Lowe say today, he said, the Grizzlies talk a lot for only winning one playoff series in the last 4 years. And I thought that was telling, and I thought that that was a good quote, because I think if you're Memphis, you've got some head scratching and some soul searching to do about what you're going to do with your franchise going forward. Really good playoff series. The game tonight was phenomenal. That Clippers Nuggets series is going to go 7 games, and it might be the best series we get in these playoffs. So anyways, thanks for joining. Have a good one.